on, guys? I know this video is a little bit different than something I usually do, but there's nothing wrong with expanding the stuff that I do. But as some of you guys saw on my Instagram last night, I did post that I got these beautiful Astro A50s. I've used them for about a day now. I did not work today, fortunately for me, so I got to try them out. And I just wanted to make a quick review. There's a lot of questions about them. I wanted to make a quick review, and I know there's a lot of reviews online that just really sugarcoat these things, and I wanted to be real with you guys and tell you exactly what I thought. I've used Turtle Beaches for a long time. I've done a lot of pro gaming. I did MLG for a few years on a doubles ladder back in like Modern Warfare 2 days. And I game all the time. I play on the 360. So I wanted to give you guys a real thorough, in-depth review on what I think about the A50s this far. So that being said, I want to go ahead and open this guy up. And I want to show you guys the package contents, show what it comes with, how it's set up, and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and get started with that, and we'll move on from there. Alright, so first things, you've got this wonderful, beautiful little box that this thing has been packaged in, but we've all seen that because we've walked by it in the store and dreamt about it multiple times. So, go ahead and get this thing out. It's going to just slide like this. Easiest way to do it is this. I have already opened these, like I said. I have used these for a little while. I did my absolute best to try and repackage these things, but these are packaged like a boss. So what we're going to do, we're just going to open it this way, and then voila. You have your mix amp and you have the headset. So, there we go. Easiest thing first. Blah, 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 blah. You get your headset. Oh, yay, I'm happy. You know, whatever. I'm all happy. I got my headset. Nope. Well, then you got to get your mix amp out. Okay. And they actually do have plastic coverings, but like I said, again, I've been using them for forever. So you've got your mix amp. One thing I will talk about a little bit later is this mix amp does not have anything aside from... It's not an actual mix amp. It's got a Dolby setting and then it's got a power setting. That's it. It does, however, have an auxiliary in the back, so if you want to listen to headphone or music or something like that while you're playing, it's got its power. It's got a digital optical input and output on it. So input meaning you're going to take that optical from your Xbox, which it does have, or whatever other device you have. So like PS3, PS4, Xbox One, they all have optical out. So you're going to go from optical out to the optical in on this. That's going to give you a higher quality audio than your auxiliary, for example. And you can always upgrade those cables if you're a stickler about that stuff like me. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what in the world comes in this lovely, jolly little box. So here is going to be your best friend in the world. Your instructions for the Astros. Now, I'll tell you guys this. I do installs on home theater systems and a lot of stuff like that. I don't normally have trouble really doing anything when it comes to electronics. However, these things, these are probably the most difficult things to understand and try to configure ever whenever I first started. But this will be your friend, I'm just letting you know. But I will explain a little bit more about it to you a little bit later. So it comes nicely all, you know, nice and packed and stuff like that. And it's going to be like, oh, hey, little triangle piece. Is this like an instrument? Do I play strings on this? No. That is your stand, actually. And you're going to pop this little piece out. And this actually is probably the most difficult part, configuring this stupid little piece of crap. Not really, but whenever you do slide this in, you're going to feel like you broke the dang thing. But you didn't. You actually put it right in. But it's really freaking hard to do this stupid thing. There we go. It's in. So, does it like that, simple as that. And then you also have your little base right here. Pop that little guy out, and then you've got this. And this thing is pretty much the same way. It will piss you off. You'll try so many times to get it in, and then you'll finally be like, oh, it was that easy? Yeah, so you just slide these little pieces. I can't even, my hand is not working right now. You slide this little piece in right there, under those pieces. You basically just pop it right in. It'll get stuck right there, and then you'll try 1,000 times to actually get it to pop in. Oh, I hit the camera, it won't do it. And then you'll finally get it. So, that being said, you've got that little stand. Your mix amp is now going to go right on top of that. And then your headset will go this way when it's charging. And it's not supposed to fall over like that, but it did anyways because it's on a very fat surface. But anyways, now that we got the fun, usable stuff out of the way, we actually have to set it up. Awesome. So, you've got two mini USB cables. Either one, it does not matter which one you use with which. However, you do have to use them. So one of them is going to go from a USB power center for instance, I'm using my Xbox. My 360 has a USB. Well, actually, I'm actually using a Monster Power Center for mine, just for the slight instance that it could have a surge and it gets knocked out. But any USB power will power this, unless it's like an iPhone charger. Then you'll just get very low voltage and it'll suck. But this will go from the back of your Xbox or a power center, anything like that. That will go from here directly to the USB input right there where it says power in the back of it. So you'll have this little guy that'll plug right into there. Voila. Boom, right there. And then that's that. So that's how you get the power, and then the other USB cable is going to go from your USB, the power output right there. You're going to plug the USB in, and that's how these charge. And I will talk more about that here in a second, but that's how you're going to be able to do that. And then it seems like you have a jillion other cables that it comes with. Not really, you only have 2 other cables. So, what are both of these cables? Well, you've got a 2.5mm cable. This is used for your mic. This is going to plug in from the Turtle Beach, or not, dang it, I'm used to saying Turtle Beach, dang it. This is going to plug in from the headset, or from your controller to your headset, vice versa. And it's going to plug in right on this little side. Do some investigating, you'll find it. It's going to plug in right there. And then the power is going to go right there if you need to charge it. So there you go on that. So that's going to be the 2.5mm that you'll use for the microphone. This is your digital optical cable. This actually, it's nice that these come with this system because they're expensive if you have to buy them normally. So take good care of it. And they do come with caps on them. Do not try and shove the little cap. I already took them off, but do not shove that little cap into it because you will break your Xbox and you'll never be able to get that little plastic cap off ever. And it sucks. I'm not saying this from experience or anything, but that's going to be used from your audio, and I'll show you guys how to set that up as well. That's going to go into the audio input on your mix amp, okay? Your audio in is that optical input right there that you see. It does come with these stupid little covers right here, but I would keep that in just in case, just for the heck of it. But pull that out, plug that audio in, and then there you go. It's going to be set up. And that's pretty much all your package contents that you'll need to know. Now, I'll go ahead and get to the very, very exciting part of actually getting these things to work. All right, and one thing I do want you guys to know before we do get started is if you buy A50s from a retail store, not directly from the Astros website, if you buy A50s directly from a retail store such as Best Buy, Walmart, I don't know if they sell those, but I know Best Buy does, Walmart or Target or something like that, you have to do the firmware update. If you're anything like me, you're going to be very, very pleased to hear that because, well, no, not because of that, but you're going to be very pleased to hear that you can't do that on a Mac. You have to do it on a PC. Luckily, I have a PC sitting in the corner of my room, but I use Macintosh because it's so much better for video editing. I'm not getting in a gaming argument, though, because it's so stupid. But anyways, you can only do the firmware update on a PC. You can't do it on a Mac. You can't do it. I tried every single way. So, that being said, if you don't have a PC, well, you're going to have a fun time trying to find a friend that does, which most of your friends do. Anyway, so what you're going to have to do for that is you basically just plug it exactly the way I'm about to show you up to your console, just to your computer instead. It's actually a very simple process. They walk you through how to do it online. But now that we've gone through the fun part of tearing open the package, I will now show you guys how to actually get it installed. So the first thing you're going to want to do is give your mix amp power. Like I told you guys, I have a power center that I use. So what I do is I just plug it in straight to my power center, just because I don't want it to get fried if we have some form of power surge or anything like that. So what I do is I just do that. I'm a neat freak, so I have to run it behind here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug this USB into the power. Simple as that. It's on. It's working good. You didn't get a broken item. Whoop-de-doo. So now that we ran all that wiring, I'm going to show you guys how to actually get it hooked up to your system, whatever system you've got, whether it be PC, Xbox, stuff like that. I'm going to show you how to do it on my Xbox, though. Will not hook up to my PS2, though. Just saying, just letting you guys know. But the way you're going to actually get it set up is you're going to take, like I said, the optical cable, which is this guy right here. It's like it's probably about a 4-foot cable. You take that, plug it into your digital audio out. For Xbox, it's right here. It's going to be lit up by a little red LED in the back. and it's also got a little flap over it. It's probably the hardest cable you'll ever try and find, but considering I've worked in home theater and home audio for over 2 years, I can spot them very easily. But you basically plug it into that. If you're an Xbox, it will automatically detect. If you have a PS3, you have to tell it to do the digital out. But I believe PS4 and Xbox One do detect automatically. And then what you're going to do from here is you take that optical cable, okay, and you plug it in directly to the optical input. Simple as that. Input is an input, and output is an output. Be smart, know the difference. Okay, so now that being said, that is all you need for that, aside from the charging cable, which is very, very, very self-explanatory. Basically, all you got to do is plug a USB into that, and now this will take power from your mix amp and charge the headset. Very, very, very easy. So, sitting right there on the stand. There we go. I've got my charging cable and whatnot already set up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my headset, I'm going to hold the mix amp power button down for 3 seconds, I believe. It's something stupid like that. But you hold the power button on there down for 3 seconds or something like that until it starts blinking white, just like this. Okay? And then also you're going to turn your headset on and you'll hear a little beep. And what you'll do is, to pair that, all you'll have to do is hold down the power button on here and it'll start blinking white as well. Once it indicates that they're paired, they both remain white for about 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds, and they're automatically paired, they're good to go. Now, the last but most simplest, I guess, part is going to, if that's even a word, is going to be plugging your headset with the 2.5mm cable right here. Plug your headset into your controller. Simple, 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 simple. Okay, all you gotta do is find the end of the cable, and then boom, plug it into your controller. I have a Chrome controller because I don't know why, but I have a Chrome controller. Like I said, this is another Dolby setting. I believe it does the 7.1. It works really, really, really well. But yeah, but now that I told you guys how to set this up, after you guys do the firmware update, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a review on it as well. Oh, and in case you guys were curious, the way you charge these is very easy. But you're going to charge it by plugging in that mini USB, I always say micro, into that bottom slot I showed you in the earlier part of the video. Whenever you do that, you will get a yellow, well, it should be yellow, but I guess it's probably because it's dead. Oh, there you go. You get a yellow LED. Shut up, HelloFridge. Shut your mouth. You get a yellow LED indicating that it is charging. You do not get an indication that the charge is full. You basically just have to charge it until you think it's ready. Okay, so last but not least, you guys are going to want to know what I think about them, what I think about using them, how they sound, what the gameplay is like, everything like that. So I'll go ahead and get to it. First thing I noticed whenever I got out of the package, the flexibility and the versatility, I guess, yeah, the many different ways, I'll say it like this, the many different ways you can basically have it conform to your head is just absolutely ridiculous. It's very cool. It's very nice. It's definitely, that's one thing I would expect out of the price that it's at. And aside from that, like, I mean, it's very flexible. You can have a huge fat head and you can have a little tiny head and they'll still work. You got these little guys, and they look, the aesthetic appearance of these things is very cool too. I mean, it's awesome. So I mean, you've got your mic's always on the left, so you've got that. And one of the weird things about the mic is it's kind of temperamental sometimes, at least what I've figured it out to be. But it picks up just about everything around you. And it's very, very trebly, and it makes you sound like, if you're like me, for some reason I sound like I'm 12 on Xbox. I'm a little squeaker. It made me sound like I was 10. But what I figured out was, basically what I had to do was, I had to put it on, and I can't even hear myself talk. It's pretty cool. But instead of wearing it up here like I'm used to, so I could hear myself better, I put it more towards down here. So it was further down there, it kind of eliminated some of that treble. So that was kind of cool, but the mic picks up everything in your ears, just so basically you can hear everything around you. Like if I'm rubbing my bed sheet like a weird kid, I can hear it in my ears. But another thing about that, since I just put these on, they're very, very, very comfortable as well. You don't get that out of a lot of gaming headsets. The Turtle Beaches I've always had they weren't like uncomfortable, but they definitely weren't comfortable. So that's one plus I have for this. And speaking about the mic again, anything in this position, it works. It changes your voice a little bit. But if you do that, that's how you mute your mic. You'll hear a little click, or you'll not hear it, you'll feel a little click, but as soon as that thing is completely vertical, it mutes the mic. So you can't pick up anything in the noise around you. None of that crap. So that's that. On this, the only thing I really did not like at first, and you'll read about this in the manual, but I wanted to speak to this, is what I'm used to in my headset is having a physical mix amp with changing the voice volume, changing the game volume, and then on some Turtle Beaches you can change the low frequency volume as well. On this you don't have that, neither the A40s. The thing I did not like is that on the right ear, I figured this out of much trial and error, but the thing I figured out was you've got two things right here, and again it says this in the manual. You've got was this voice? Yeah. So you've got voice fading and you've got game fading. These are actually buttons that you can click, and I figured that out by like rubbing the side of my head, and it started beeping at me, and I was like, what the crap is going on right now? So these are actually buttons, and then you've got a master volume right here. What that is whenever you have them on, if you want to hear less of the chatting in your party, if you have a party going on and you want to hear less of that, you'd rather hear more of the game. If you're playing Call of Duty and you want to hear the footsteps and stuff like that, what you'll do is you'll hit up on the game, so it'll focus more on the game volume, less on the voice. Basically, it'll take the voice volume, kind of bring it down a level, and it'll kind of gain the game volume up, which is kind of cool. And you can do that on all sorts of different levels because you have the master volume right back here. You can turn it up or you can turn it down. So it's very versatile. It was just hard to get used to at first because, like I said, I was not used to anything like that. But yeah, that was really the only thing I didn't like at first about it. I'm still trying to get some of this stuff figured out. It's kind of odd. And then also you've got the 1, 2, and 3 presets. It explains the presets in the user manual that you get. I can't remember exactly what it is. I want to say the third preset was the Pro Gamer mode, which the only thing I noticed on that was it had a lot more low frequency. I believe 2 is the movie mode. I don't know off the top of my head, so don't hate me if I'm wrong. But I believe 2 is like a movie mode, and it gives you a lot more realistic sound. It's the best calibrated sound, I guess you could say. And wait, what? Wait, oh, is the headset on? No, it's not. That was weird. It's the best calibrated sound, I guess you could say. So it sounds a lot better in 2, in my opinion, but you've got 3 presets to choose from, which is kind of cool. And the biggest thing I wanted to touch on was I underestimated how good these headphones actually sounded. The directional sound you get from these is absolutely ridiculous. I play a lot of Call of Duty Ghost. In fact, I play it way too much. That and Grand Theft Auto as well. But in Call of Duty Ghosts, I was running Amplify just so I could hear footsteps. If you don't know what that is, it just increases the sound of enemy footsteps. With these headphones, compared to my Turtle Beach X12s, I could put a finger on exactly where the enemy was on the map. If you asked me, if they were running around, I could tell you exactly where they were. Because the directional, I believe 7.1, I think these are 7.1 capable, if not 5.1. But anyways, in the Dolby capabilities that this thing has, it's so awesome because you can tell exactly where they are. Whereas in my Turtle Beaches, I could tell you whether they were left, right, sometimes above me. But it's like these things have 7 sets of drivers and 1 subwoofer below you, just like a home theater would have, just to give you that power. But it sounds so good. And then I also have on my Grand Theft Auto 5, I have it calibrated to where it does a 5.1 surround. And it works very, very well with this, and I also put on the Dolby setting as well. But basically, the surround, I mean, the cars driving past you, the people, the voices you hear driving past you. If somebody's talking right here and they all of a sudden get behind you, you can hear it. You can hear the person passing you. It's just, in the gun sound and the realism that this thing offers is just awesome. So that is one thing I wasn't even expecting to be impressed as much as I was with these. The only downside I will tell you guys about is there is no removable battery in these. So if this headset dies, it's dead, unless you want to pay $50 to a service center, which is probably more than that, just guessing. There's no removable battery, I don't believe, in this, unless I just haven't looked hard enough. That's what I've heard from a plethora of people, but there's no removable batteries. So if this thing dies on you, you're pretty much screwed. But with paying this much for a headset, I hope it doesn't die within the next 2 years, or I'm going to be pretty pissed at Astro for that. But overall, I mean, if I were to rate this headset over, you know, all the things I've reviewed today, if I were to rate it, I would probably, out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8 or 9, just considering everything I had to do to get it set up and just the complicatedness of it. But, I mean, you can only do so much with a wireless headset, so that's also why it's a little bit more complicated. I have heard tons of people say, no, 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 return it, get the A50s, which I contemplated that a lot. But here's the thing, is these things are just so amazing, and I've wanted these for so long. The driving system in them is just absolutely just ridiculously crazy, and they sound so good. I don't want the A40s. Now, the only thing about that I would like the A40s more is it has a physical mix amp instead of it being right on the side of your face, right here. That's the only thing I really don't like about this headset, is it just irritates the crap out of me. But the compatibility you get with everything, I mean, the ease of use with the controller, I just have to show my Chrome controller because I'm kind of proud of it. It's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird as well. But, I mean, it was a very simple install, aside from the fact of me having to go dig out my PC out of no man's land. And the only other thing is, well, any headset's going to give you this, but whenever you wear a headset for too long, you sit there and game as much as any normal gamer would play. You basically get the headphone hair. You get Astro head. Actually, that sounds really bad. Astro hair. You get Astro hair after you play these for a while. I'm just going to call it that. I called it turtle hair before, or turtle head, but I guess that's still not, oof. But anyways, that's any headset's gonna do that to you. So don't play too much before you go to work. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, oh, you played a lot of video games before you got here to work. And these are also huge, so they leave a huge indentation on your head, and your hair. So people can obviously tell you've been gaming. So yeah, but this headset is awesome. If you guys are contemplating it, if you guys have wanted this headset for forever, I say go for it. It is expensive, but I haven't bought car parts in a long time, so I figured I'd buy these for myself and treat myself. But yeah, I love them so far. I don't know. I still am not decided on whether I want to keep these or go to the A40s. I'm still waiting on feedback on that, and all the stuff that people compare this to the A40s. I'm starting to get used to this headset, and it's only been a day. So, but that's just one thing I wanted to kind of just clear up. So, if there's any questions you guys have about it, I've pretty much experimented with just about everything you can do with this headset. If you have any questions, any kind of general remarks about the headset, if you have any kind of information you want to give me, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I'm completely open to any kind of ideas or anything like that. But yeah, if you guys have anything like that at all whatsoever, I'm going to say this a million times. If you need anything at all, my voice just cracked. But if you need anything at all, just let me know in the comment section. It's as simple as that. And remember to raise your mic lower because you don't sound like a squeaker. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. I'll see you guys next time.